Hey everyone, so this is a review on the movie Tomorrowland, which is a movie starring some of the big cast that I know of, being George Clooney and Hugh Laurie. And basically the movie is about a girl named Cassie Newton, who when she touches this random pin that showed up, she is magically transported to Tomorrowland. And she goes on this journey with this little girl and this scientist named Frank Walter, I think it is. And they go on their journey to try and get to Tomorrowland and try and save it. It is definitely a very good family movie. It is high in fantasy and science and all this stuff. And just overall a very good family movie, like most Disney movies are. It actually amazed me in the movie of how well it was directed, for the fact that the 2 hours and 21 minutes I think the movie is just breezed by, because it maybe seemed like an hour when I watched it, but it actually was 2 hours. So how well they constructed the story to have it just flow together and you completely lose track of time while watching it, I think is really good and well done. But I feel the story would have been better, in my mind, if they would have done a bit more of the story in Tomorrowland. Because it seemed like most of the movie was just them trying to get to Tomorrowland, and then all of a sudden, yay, everything was fixed. But I feel like it would have been way cooler to have more stuff going on in Tomorrowland when they finally got there. But I mean, that could also just be my natural brain now for like action movies where, oh, there has to be explosions and a big fight scene and all this stuff, when necessarily it probably didn't need to be there. That's just what I'm used to now in my head. I feel like the story would have been just a whole lot better if it was just about like Frank Walker and when he first went to Tomorrowland as a kid, and just watching like all that kind of like Meet the Robinsons kind of feel to it, of him like growing up and learning in Tomorrowland and doing all his experiments and stuff. I feel would have been a lot more entertaining movie that I want to see. And then have like this movie be like a sequel, because it did feel like a sequel movie to a movie that never happened. And just that kind of feel to it made it a little bit awkward to me. So having like this Tomorrowland movie be the sequel to like the Tomorrowland movie, learning about Frank Walter and Athena, and like them growing up together and learning about their story, so I could relate to their two characters and their struggles together a little bit more, and not just have those struggles kind of like forced on. But overall, I would give this movie 4 stars because it is really well directed and really well done. But it is definitely a Disney movie where it's aimed more towards a younger audience. And I like my one little theory that Disney only made this movie to remake the Tomorrowland whole like area in Disney World and the attraction. Because if you ever go to the Tomorrowland attraction ride thing, it is actually really outdated compared to now. So like, oh, all this really cool stuff is going to happen in the future, but it happened like 5 years ago. So them going and probably making this movie so then they can update that whole area and that ride to make it more futuristic, I feel like is their main ploy of why Disney made this movie. And yeah, so that's my review on the movie Tomorrowland, and bye! But now that I found it on Netflix and I started watching it, I've just fallen in love with it, because it is a really, in my idea, really well written show